you for today's. Welcome all of you for today's special session. Today we are starting a new series called Nava-Vidha Bhakti series. So let us begin with prayers, seeking the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nava-Vidha Bhakti. Bhakti means, what is bhakti? Love and respect towards the Lord. Okay. So bhakti means, the word bhakti comes from the Sanskrit root word called bhaja. Bhaja means to serve. To serve. Right? So bhakti means to serve. Srila Prabhupada, whenever he translates the word bhakti into English, he doesn't translate it merely as devotion, but he says devotional service. Why? Because bhakti means to serve. Generally, people think bhakti should be in our heart. Bhakti is some emotion, like this people think. Bhakti is not simply emotion. Bhakti is an expression of love through service. When you love somebody, you are ready to do anything for that person's pleasure. That is the meaning of love, no? Like mother can go to any extent in displaying her love towards her children. You know, mother can starve and make sure that the children will eat nicely. There are many examples like that. When there is shortage of food, mother prefers to starve herself, but she makes sure that her children are not starving. This is an expression of love. Correct? So when you love somebody, you have to, you should not, you don't generally keep that love within your heart. You express that love, isn't it? You express that love through your words, through your actions. And not only that, you're also thinking about that person always. That is the expression, that is the way of love. So love can be expressed through kaya, vacha, manasa, by your actions, by your words, and by your thoughts. Correct, no? You express love. So, in the same way, bhakti towards Krishna is also expressed by devotees in different ways, right? So this series of Nava-Vidha Bhakti is an attempt to understand the 9 different methods of bhakti, the standard methods of bhakti that are prescribed in the scriptures. And each of these processes of bhakti, they were practiced by exalted devotees. So we will be also hearing about the life of those devotees, how they practiced these processes of bhakti, how they attained perfection by practicing these processes. We will be talking about in this series starting today. So the basis for this Nava-Vidha Bhakti, Nava means 9, Vidha means types. Bhakti means service to Krishna. So 9 different types of serving, 9 different ways of expressing our love for Krishna. This is Nava-Vidha Bhakti. And in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, these 9 types of bhakti are listed by none other than Prahalad Maharaj, Bhaktaraj Prahalad. He's called the king of devotees, Bhaktaraj Prahalada. So he gives the list of 9 processes of bhakti. What are those? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are the 9 processes of bhakti. Can you all repeat? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are the Nava-Vidha Bhakti, the 9 types of bhakti. Shravanam means hearing about Krishna. Kirtanam means to chant his holy names and to glorify his qualities and his activities. That is Kirtanam. Smaranam means remembering Krishna. Pada Sevanam means worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna. And what is the next one? Archanam. Archanam means offering simple items like flowers, fruits to Krishna. Archanam means worshipping the Archa Vigraha of the Lord, following certain rules and regulations. That is Archanam. Vandanam means offering prayers. Dasya means acting as a servant of Krishna. Sakhyam means considering Krishna to be one's best friend. And Atma Nivedana means completely surrendering to the will of Krishna. These are the 9 processes of bhakti. And for each process of bhakti, there is one role model devotee. One role model devotee. So, Shravanam, Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj exemplified the process of hearing. Kirtanam, Shukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva. He showed us the perfect way of Kirtanam. Smaranam, Prahalad Maharaj. He was always absorbed in constant remembrance of Krishna. Pada Sevanam, Lakshmi Devi. She is always engaged in massaging the feet of Lord Vishnu. Archanam, Pruthu Maharaj. He showed us the process of Archana Vidhi. Then Vandanam, Akrura. Akrura, a great devotee. He showed the process of Vandanam. He offered so many prayers. Dasyam, Hanumanji exemplified the Dasya Bhakti by carrying out the orders of Lord Ramachandra. Sakhyam, Arjuna perfected the process of Sakhyam by befriending Krishna. Atma Nivedanam, Bali Maharaj showed he exemplified the process of complete surrender. So these are the 9 different case studies. When we study the lives of these 9 great devotees, we will also understand the glories of each of these 9 processes of bhakti. So let us recollect once again. I will tell the name of the process. You should tell who exemplified that. Shravanam, Parikshit Maharaj. Kirtanam, Shukadev Goswami. Smaranam, Prahalad Maharaj. Pada Sevanam, Lakshmi Devi. Archanam, Prutu Maharaj. Vandanam, Akrura. Dasyam, Hanumanji. Sakhyam, Arjuna. Atma Nivedanam, Bali Maharaj. Very good. So we know the 9 processes. We know the 9 devotees who practiced it and attained perfection. Okay. Now there is one all-rounder in bhakti who did all the 9. Just like in any game, cricket matches. Some people are good at fielding, some people are good at bowling, some people are good at batting. But there are some people who are called all-rounders. They can do everything. Batting, fielding, bowling, everything they can do. So all-rounder in bhakti is Ambarish Maharaj. Who is that? Ambarish Maharaj. He practiced all the 9 processes of bhakti. He was the emperor in the line of Surya Vamsha. He's a king in the Surya Vamsha. He was a predecessor of Lord Rama. Much before Lord Rama, he was there, Ambarish. So Ambarish Maharaj, he is called all-rounder in bhakti. Remember these names, okay? And we will now discuss why we should perform these 9 processes of bhakti. Right? Srila Prabhupada says it is very natural for every jiva, because every jiva is a part and parcel of Krishna. It is very natural for us to love Krishna. It is very natural. It is not artificial at all. Right? But since we have forgotten Krishna now, we are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, all that towards other entities. But we are doing. Are we not hearing cinema songs? Shravanam. Are we not hearing some speeches of some great politicians? Shravanam, we are doing. But we are doing Shravanam because object is forgotten. Krishna is the original person about whom we should do Shravanam. But now we have disconnected from Krishna, but that urge to hear is there. Instead of hearing about Krishna, we are hearing about so many other topics. But hearing is there. You cannot stop hearing. We want to hear. Why do we watch news? We want to know what is happening in the world. We want to know latest updates. When Prime Minister Modi makes a speech, everyone wants to hear it. What is he speaking? Like that. We want to hear that Shravanam, that inherent inclination to hear about a great person is there. For that matter, all of us like hearing stories. We all like stories, no? Right from small kids up to old people, we take pleasure in hearing stories. Because we have this natural inclination to hear about Krishna. It is very natural for the soul to hear about Krishna. Therefore, this hearing inclination is there. But we have now changed the object. Instead of Krishna, we are hearing about Shah Rukh Khan, or we are hearing about Donald Trump. But we are hearing. Like this, all these 9 types of activities, these are very natural for the soul with respect to Krishna. So in our original position, in our natural position, we are doing all these 9 activities in connection with Krishna. Now Krishna is removed, we are doing the 9 activities in connection with somebody else. That's all. Right? For example, Smaranam. Whom do we remember so much? Whom do we remember in our daily lives? Whom do we remember? We don't remember anybody, looks like. Huh? Our parents, we remember. Or our teachers, hey, they taught this concept. This maths teacher taught me in my 8th standard. It is still fresh in my memory. We say that. We remember, no? And whenever we are solving some complex mathematical problem, and we are using that concept which our 8th standard teacher taught, we remember that, oh, because of her, I'm able to solve this. Smaranam. Correct? In that movie, Rajinikanth told this dialogue. Oh, this is so nice. Now, Ora Dodi Sanna, Noora Dodi Sanna Madi. There is one dialogue. Rajinikanth only, no? So he says, if I tell once, it is like saying 100 times. That is his famous dialogue. And everybody remembers that. So the point is, we are doing all these 9 activities in our daily life, just that we have forgotten the actual object of love, that is Krishna. So this series is an attempt to revive our love for Krishna so that we can direct these 9 processes towards Krishna, and that will give us complete happiness and satisfaction. The soul will be fully satisfied when we engage in loving service to Krishna. So that is the background introduction for this Nava-Vidha Bhakti. So all of us know the 9 processes of bhakti, right? And we know who perfected each process. We know the all-rounder also. We know why we should do these 9 processes, because it's natural for us. It's natural. Okay. So now, first process of bhakti, what is that? Shravanam. We are going to talk about Shravanam today. Shravana, Shruti. Shruti means to hear. The Vedic scriptures are called Shruti. Why? Because they are supposed to be received through oral reception. Oral reception means by hearing process. Shrauta Panta, it is called. Shrauta. Shrauta means hearing. No, Shrauta means hearing. Panta means path. So, what is the best way to receive knowledge? The best way to receive knowledge is to hear from a bona fide source. The best way to receive knowledge is not through experimentation and observation. Why? Yeah, because our senses are imperfect, our observations will also be imperfect. Like mirage in the desert, for example. If you decide that just by my observation I'm going to understand mirage, then it's an optical illusion. It's called illusion. Correct? Our eyes perceive that there is water. You keep walking miles together, you'll be thinking that there is water, but there is no water. That's called mirage, isn't it? So the Vedic scriptures say every person in this world has got some defects. And one of the defects is we have imperfect senses. What does that imperfect senses means? For example, we all can see with our eyes only in the presence of visible range of light. What is the wavelength range? 400 to 750 nanometer. Only in that range of frequencies we can see things. Suppose instead of white light, these bulbs are emitting white light, no? Instead of that, if they are emitting, let's say, UV rays, you will all be there. Chairs will be there, table will be there, everything will be there, but we will not be able to perceive through this eyes. Our eyes are limited to perceive things only in the presence of visible light or white light. That's one example for our limitations of our senses. Another example, our ears. Can we hear all the frequencies of sound? No. 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Sorry, 20 hertz only. 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz of that frequency sound only we can hear. Below 20 hertz, does sound exist? Yeah, it exists. It's called infrasonics. But my ears cannot. I am deaf. If I am speaking in infrasonics frequency, you will only see my mouth is moving, but nothing you will hear. Ultrasonics, about 20,000 hertz also. Frequency of sounds exists, but we can't hear. Our ears are deaf. Bats can hear ultrasonic sound. Huh? Dogs also can hear. That means we have got this material body, we have got these senses, no? These senses have got some limitations. So we cannot say that whatever knowledge I gather through my senses, it is perfect. That is why in our calculations also, we keep some plus or minus some 5%, 3%, 2% tolerance. Correct? No? It's not perfect answer, plus or minus there and here. So this is our nature. So through our materially limited senses, we cannot acquire perfect knowledge. Therefore, the Vedic scriptures say that we have to hear from a standard authority. The greatest authority is Krishna himself. So when we hear the knowledge given by Krishna, then you will get perfect knowledge. I am imperfect, but my knowledge is perfect because I am receiving from a perfect source. You understand? So therefore, hearing is so important in our daily lives. This is what we have also been doing from our beginning of our education. Correct? No, we went to kindergarten and teacher told this is one, this is A, this is B, like that she taught. Thank you. And we just accepted it. Correct? No? We didn't ask, please prove that this is A. Please prove. There is no proof. That's an axiomatic truth. You have to accept it. Yeah, you write in whatever style, but it is called A. It should look like A, at least, whatever style you write, calligraphy, whatever you write, A, it should look. So the point is, we have been receiving this knowledge in our, even in our material domain also, through this process of hearing, Shravanam. Correct? No? Okay. So now, Shravanam will be perfect. You will attain perfect knowledge through Shravanam, provided you are hearing from the right source. Nowadays on social media, there are so many fake news channels. Simply, they will make a video saying that such and such a person has died. They'll make a video, they'll put garland also, and they will show. Have you seen? Such person has died like that. They will, and there'll be so many thousands of video views for that. Now, it's wrong. No, that means it's not a trustworthy source. So if you hear from a trustworthy source, then you will get perfect knowledge. That is the only caution that we have to keep in mind. Don't hear from any Tom, Dick, and Harry. You will not get the perfect knowledge. Right? So therefore, we have to hear from a bona fide source. Can someone wake up Rajashekar? Late night, didn't sleep last night. He's meditating here. Smaranam he's doing. We are in Shravanam now. First, please hear. In Shravanam class, if you don't hear, then in which class you will hear? Please hear. Okay, no problem. So now Shravanam, it is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. We have to hear about Krishna. All these 9 processes are about Krishna only. We have to do this with respect to Krishna. Correct? So in the Bhagavatam, there is one nice analogy given. Okay. A comparison is made between 2 types of birds, swans and crows. Okay. Now, swans, where do they gather? Where do they live, the swans? They live in lakes, and they don't live in dirty places. Swans, they prefer to live in a clean place. Water should be crystal clear. They live there, and they live in groups generally. Crows, where do they live? Where do they come? Garbage bin. You will not find swans in garbage bin. Nor will you find crows in crystal clear water lakes. They don't like somehow. They want that only. They want garbage only. And there will be filth and rotten garbage will be there. These crows will go there and feast there. They party there. And not alone. Ka, 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 they'll be calling. And they'll call more other crows will come. Have you observed this? If a crow finds some bread piece or some eatable, it will not eat alone. It will start calling. That call will attract some more gang. Some more people, crows will come and they will all nicely feast. So when they get nice food, also they will call. When they go to garbage, also they will call. That is their idea. So Bhagavatam is comparing swans and crows. Look at the animal kingdom, birds. Both are birds, but their tastes and preferences are different. Right? So these swan-like people, they are compared to the devotees. They take pleasure in hearing about Krishna Leelas, Krishna's activities. Huh? Oh Lord Vishnu, he came as Vamana and he conquered the whole world in just 2 steps, right? That is a nice Leela to discuss and dive into, and many life lessons we can derive from that. So, swan like people take pleasure in hearing about this. Oh, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill on with his little finger, left hand, for 7 days and nights. So, swan like people take pleasure in this kind of hearing. And now, the crow like people, what do they hear about? What do they hear? Huh? They hear about gossips. This film star, he did like this. He went to Switzerland, he did this, and this person, he was half naked and he was dancing like this. This person took this much money, he did this much ghotala, this much scam. This kind of news will all be there. This kind of news will be enjoyed by one set of people, and they are compared to crows, right? So therefore, we have to hear about those activities of Krishna which will uplift our consciousness from material to spiritual. So hearing has a lot of impact. What happens when you start hearing about somebody, first what happens? You start developing appreciation for that person. Oh, this person did like this. That is how we have developed perspectives about people around the world. Right? You have never seen Donald Trump personally in your life, correct? Have you anyone met? No. But we keep hearing about Donald Trump, his policies, how he makes decisions. And we have developed a certain kind of perception about Donald Trump. Correct? About Prime Minister Modi, we keep hearing, and we develop some perspective. Sometimes we hear directly from him through his speeches. Sometimes what other people talk about him, we hear, and we make a perspective about him. Correct, no? So when you hear about somebody, you develop a perspective about that person. Correct? So you develop a appreciation for that person based on whether if we are swan-like people, then we will develop appreciation for swan-like people. If we are crow-like people, by hearing about crow-like people, we'll develop appreciation for them. We will become their fans. Isn't it? Finally, swans also have fans. Crows also have fans. They all have their fan club. These people also have their fan club. But it all begins with hearing. The first step to know about somebody is hearing about that person. If you see somebody, what will you understand? Okay, he's wearing this t-shirt, he's wearing this pant, specs is there, this is his, that's all we'll get to know. But what is his mind? What is running in his mind? What are his thoughts? What are his choices? What he likes, what he doesn't like? All this we cannot know just by seeing. They say, no, don't judge a book by its cover. You will make mistake. By seeing cover, what will I know? What is there inside the book? You have to open the book and read, no? Simply we see the cover and judge a book. Can you review a book simply like that? No. You have to open the book page by page, word by word. You have to read, then you'll understand. So Shravanam is that process which will help us to understand any person. You have to either hear from him directly or you have to hear from his representative who nicely represents him. We should hear. Then we will get to know about him. Therefore, to know about Krishna in the same way, the scriptures say that we have to hear Krishna Katha. What is that? Krishna Katha. Katha means talks, his activities. So there are two types of Katha. Krishnena Katha, Krishnasya Katha. What is that? Krishnena Katha, Krishnasya Katha. Sanskrit. What do you mean by Krishnena? Krishnena means spoken by Krishna. Krishnena means something, katha spoken by Krishna. What is that? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Krishnena katha because he himself has spoken. Krishnasya, asya means of. Krishnasya Katha means Katha spoken about Krishna, about him. And that is called Bhagavatam. That is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself is speaking about himself and about this world, about the purpose of human life, about so many truths Krishna is revealing. That is Krishnena Katha. Krishnasya Katha means about Krishna. Great devotees have spoken. Suta Goswami, Shukadev Goswami, they speak, Narad Muni, Lord Brahma, all of these people speak in the Bhagavatam about Krishnasya, about Krishna. And by hearing that, we develop appreciation, love for Krishna. Understood? So there are two types of Krishna Katha. Krishnena Katha, Krishnasya Katha. Krishnena Katha is Bhagavad Gita, Krishnasya Katha is Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Another thing is, if you hear, suppose you want to know about me, best thing is I only speak about me. And with faith, you should understand whatever I'm speaking, you will understand. Or I will appoint somebody. He is my representative. He knows in and out about me, and he will properly represent me. You will hear from him, you will understand. There are only two options, correct? No? You either hear from me directly, or you hear from my bona fide representative, not anybody. So now, in the same way, there is a caution in the Padma Purana. There's a caution. Caution means what? Warning, yeah, warning. So it is said, Avaishnavam mukha girnam putam harikathamritam Shravanam naiva kartavyam sarpochishta yatopayaha. So what is the meaning of this? It is said, Shravanam means you understood, hearing. Naiva means don't. Kartavyam, you should do. Don't do. Don't hear about Krishna. Padma Purana is saying. Why? What is this? No, that is not the full meaning. Okay. Avaishnava. Avaishnava mukha girnam. Girna means words coming from his mukha, from his mouth. If he is a Avaishnava, Avaishnava means what? Who is not a devotee. He is not a devotee of Krishna. He has no understanding about Krishna. And whatever he feels, he talks about Krishna. From such people, Shravanam naiva kartavyam. Even though Putam Harikathamritam, Harikathamrita it is called. Nectar. Harikatha Amrita. Amrita means nectar. Hearing about Krishna is nectar for the ear. And it is very purifying. Putam means it's very purifying. But still, you should not hear Harikathamritam from Avaishnava Mukha, from the mouth of a non-devotee. What will happen, sir, if you hear from a non-devotee? One example, analogy is given in the same shloka. Sarpochishtam yatha payaha. Paya means milk. Milk is very nutritious. If you drink milk, it is good for your health, right? So if you drink milk, which is sarpa uchishtam, which is touched by the lips of sarpa, snake, then what happens? Even though the milk is nutritious, but because it is mixed with snake venom, Govinda will happen. So therefore, milk is good, but if it is mixed with snake venom, it is bad. You should not eat. It is fatal. In the same way, Harikathamritam, it is very purifying. But if it is heard from the lips of a non-devotee who has no proper understanding about Krishna, who is having a material understanding about Krishna, it will have adverse effects. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mayavada Bhashya Sunile Hoy Sarvanash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, there are people who write Bhashya, commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and other scriptures, and they are not devotees. They're very good in juggling words. They are very good in analyzing Sanskrit words. They explain through different Sanskrit grammatical rules. They explain, they break down the words and they explain. And their explanation is very fanciful, very attractive, very nice to the ear. Maza aa gaya, this kind of feeling. But when you hear that, because they are not devotees, they misrepresent Krishna. They give wrong understanding about Krishna through their explanation and word juggling. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you read such commentaries, if you hear from such Mayavadis, Hoy Sarvanash, your spiritual life is doomed. You should not hear. Because our faith in Krishna becomes weaker and weaker when you hear from a non-devotee. Just like by drinking milk touched by the snake, you become weaker and weaker and finally die. Like that, our spiritual death will occur when we hear from non-devotees. Therefore, we should be careful. That's the caution given in the scriptures. Do not hear. Shravanam naiva kartavyam. Don't hear like that. Okay. Now, let us come to the story of that great personality who perfected his life just by Shravanam. You can follow all the 9 processes of bhakti, or you can follow few of them, or you can follow just one of them. You will attain perfection. Just one also is very powerful, but it should be done with right guidance. Okay, so here there is a person called as Parikshit Maharaj. Now, Parikshit, that name is so special. Pariksha means what? Exam. Exam. Pariksha means exam. Parikshit means one who examined. The examiner is called examiner. Don't ask me from which board he is. Huh? His examiner means which board? Not CBSE, ICSE, or IGCSE. No, not even state syllabus. So he is examiner because, when he was in the womb of his mother, the war of Kurukshetra was over. That time Ashwathama comes. He releases one Brahmastra. Who is Ashwathama? He is the son of Dronacharya. So he wanted to take revenge against the Pandavas. My father Dronacharya was killed by cheating. Now I will not allow any person, this Pandava lineage should end with these 5 Pandavas. I will not allow anybody to. So Abhimanyu was killed. Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, he was killed on the battlefield. Now Abhimanyu's son was Parikshit. So Parikshit was in the womb of his mother Uttara. That time this person, what does he do? Ashwathama releases Brahmastra to kill. That time Mother Uttara calls out for the Lord. Krishna, Krishna Mahayogi, oh Lord. So at that time Krishna was ready to go. He had boarded his chariot. He was about to leave to Dwaraka. That time Uttara comes. One big problem has come. Please save me. Apart from you, oh Krishna, no one can save me. Like that, she offers prayers. And immediately, you know what Krishna does? Krishna, he will be present in front of everybody, but he will also enter into the womb of Uttara to protect that child from Brahmastra. At that time, Parikshit had seen Krishna within the womb. Parikshit had seen. And he was so attracted to this beautiful person. So he was protected by the Lord. After he was born, he was examining everybody. Is this the person whom I saw inside my mother's womb? No. He is not so beautiful. Not he. Oh, not he, not he. He was examining everybody. Because he was examining everybody, he got the name Parikshit. Actually, we should also do that. What we should do? Anything, is it helping me to become closer to Krishna? I will accept. If it is not helping me, it may be the best thing to possess in the world. It may be the trending thing to possess in the world. We should say thank you. This is the examination we should do. This is called Anukulyasya Sankalpaha Pratikulyasya Varjanam. The first 2 steps in surrender is accepting things which are favorable for bhakti rejecting things which are unfavorable for bhakti. Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us that we should always be mindful. Otherwise, something may look nice, it may look like bhakti, but it will take us away from Krishna. Example is hearing from Mayavadis or non-devotees. There are so many people who have written commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. They have written commentaries. They have good knowledge in Sanskrit. They write commentaries. But because they don't have bhakti, they twist the words of Krishna to prove that there is no Krishna. You know this? They use the words of Krishna to prove that there is no Krishna. So, one great personality has written one commentary, Gita Rahasya, it is called. It is really Rahasya, only he will understand. So, he has written where Krishna says, "You surrender to me." He has written, when Krishna says you should surrender to me, it means you should not surrender to the person Krishna. Inside the person Krishna, there is one light. To that light, you should surrender. So, this is the explanation he's giving. And he's a well known scholar. And lakhs of people read his Gita Rahasya. Lakhs of people get misled like this. So, they are using Krishna's words to kill Krishna. So this kind of commentary is useless. We should not read. So we should develop this understanding properly. What to read, what not to read. Oh, everything is Bhagavad Gita. We'll read. No. If you go to the airport, Bangalore airport, I saw recently. So one big bookstall is there, and they write. So many books are kept. So somebody has written this book, My Gita. The name of the book is My Gita. There is one peacock feather on the top. Okay. Okay. Means it is indicating that he's written one explanation on Bhagavad Gita. But it is called My Gita. For him. Anyway. So now what happens? This person, what he has written, he is not having any proper standard understanding, nor is he having bhakti for Krishna. And people are reading. So what they will become by reading this? They will also become like him. And they will write another My Gita. My Gita Pro Max Plus, they will write. So we should accept standard knowledge coming from Parampara. That is the point that I'm trying to say again and again. Okay, so this Parikshit Maharaj, he was a just ruler. He used to take care of his citizens like his own children. And it is said, when did Parikshit Maharaj rule? Towards the fag end of Kali Yuga, he was ruling. About 5,000 years ago, he was ruling. And he was ruling all over the world. Now, until the end of Dwapar Yuga, there was one king for the whole world. This is the understanding we get from the scriptures when we read. And in fact, all over the world, we can even today find the influence, the traces of influence of Sanatana Dharma. All over the world, you take any culture, Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, you will see some traces of Sanatana culture is there in every civilization. So this shows that the whole world was under one civilization, the Vedic civilization. And with the advent of Kali Yuga, things started degrading, and many things it became, diluted. Today, only in Indian subcontinent, only in India, we find traces of Sanatana Dharma being followed in its original form, but now that is also becoming diluted because of so many misrepresentations. So, Parikshit Maharaj, he was making sure that in his kingdom there are no sinful activities. He had completely banned these four things: meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. These four things he had completely banned. One day he went on a tour in his kingdom to see how things are happening. So what he did, he saw when he was going a person, he was dressed like a king. He had a stick in his hand and he was beating one cow and a bull. He was beating. Immediately Parikshit Maharaj got down from his chariot and he asked, why are you doing such a heinous act? And he punished him. He threatened to punish him. I'm going to punish you. This is adharma what you're doing. In my kingdom, adharma cannot happen. So that person was actually Kali Purusha. He's the Kali. So he surrendered at the feet of Parikshit Maharaj. Please forgive me. Right? Like that. Now, what did Parikshit Maharaj do? Parikshit said, no question of forgiving you. You get out of my kingdom. Please go, exit. But then he was so pleading, please give me some shelter. Please give me some shelter. He said, okay, wherever these four activities are performed, you can stay there. Because he was fully confident there is no person in my kingdom who are performing these four sinful activities. So this person will not get any residence. Kali will be thrown out. That is ideal governance. Ideal governance means what? A king should be so confident that under my governance there are no sinful activities being performed. And he should actually make sure that this is real governance. It is far, far, far away from what we see today, isn't it? Anyway, so then this Kali Purusha went and saw in his entire kingdom there was no place where people were performing these four sinful activities. Then he came back again. See, I did not find any place where, instead of saying, get out, you have told me that you stay in these four places. Please tell me where I can stay. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, wherever there is gold and money, which are secured by illegal means, you can go and stay there. So that was one kind of a relief for him. So gold, money was there. Some black market, something, he stayed there. Okay. So he stayed in his kingdom also. Illegal things were not there, but gold and money is there. And whenever there is gold and money, there is always fight between brothers also. There is, I'm ready to even kill my brother and take money from him. This kind of cheating is always there. Yes, might be there. So he was allowed to stay. Okay. So now, finally, Parikshit Maharaj, so this incident is described to show how great a king Parikshit was. Many times we think, no, devotee means what? Just go to Himalayas and sit. That's a devotee. No. Sadhu can still be a king, able administrator. Kshatriyas can also be devotees. You know, they can actually stop sinful activities from being promoted in the kingdom. Right? So, once this Parikshit Maharaj went for a hunting excursion, hunting in the forest. Somebody may ask why Parikshit Maharaj is doing hunting, right? The Kshatriyas must get used to warfare and blood. Therefore, it is allowed for them to practice hunting. That is one reason. Another reason is in the forest, there are saintly people who are sitting there in the ashrams. Sometimes the animals, if they increase in number, they can actually create problem. So the kings used to go and hunt the animals sometimes. Third reason why they used to hunt is to get some suitable animal for yajna. Right? Yajna, animals used to be sacrificed. By the power of the mantra, the animals used to be elevated to higher bodies. This we have discussed many times before also. For one of these three reasons, hunting was allowed. Not otherwise, not for entertainment. Okay? Yeah. So now, when Parikshit Maharaj went, he became very thirsty. He went deep into the forest, became thirsty. Then he saw there was one ashram of one sage. What is the name of the sage? Shamika Rishi. The name of the sage was Shamika. And he was sitting in meditation. He was not practically in his external consciousness. Okay. So he was sitting in meditation. And there was nobody to receive the king. King has come. He's so thirsty. There's no one to even ask for water. That's a basic hospitality. So Parikshit Maharaj was so, you know, tired because of thirst and fatigue. He became a little angry. Why the saint is not receiving me? He became angry. So what he did, he took one dead snake was there and he put it around the neck of this king, of the sage, as a garland and went away to show his anger. He did like that and went. Parikshit Maharaj. So he took one dead snake and put it around his neck and went away. He did not curse, he did not use his arrow, he did not disturb the tapasya, just to show his that he is unhappy. This is not the way you should receive the king. Just to show his unhappiness, he took one dead snake and put and went away. So now this Shamika Rishi, his meditation broke after some time. He saw a dead snake is there. He didn't care much. Just threw the snake. But his son was there. His name was Shringi. His name is Shringi, right? Correct? Yeah. So he was a Brahmana, small boy, son of a Brahmana. He knew some mystic powers. He had chanted some mantras and all of that. But he was a half-baked person. You know, it is said, no, Alpa Jnana Mahagarvi, it is said. A person who has little knowledge, he is very proud. So he got to know that Parikshit Maharaj had done such a thing to his father. He became very angry. His father himself is not caring for it, but he became very angry. And he said, with whatever Brahmanical power I have, I use that power to curse this king that in the next 7 days he will die because of snake bite. Seventh day from today, he will die because of snake bite. Okay. So he said like this. And he came and told his father, like this, I have cursed that fellow. And his father was so unhappy. Why did you do such a thing? King is such a nice king. He's such a nice king. He's taking care of everybody so nicely. He's making sure that dharma is prevailing in the kingdom. And in the absence of such a good king, what will happen to the kingdom? You have done such a big blunder by cursing. So the father, that Shamika Rishi, felt so sad. He himself went to the palace of Parikshit Maharaj and told all this. Like this, my son has cursed you. Like this, he told, and he said, I'm very sorry. I did not receive you properly. If I had received you properly, all this wouldn't have happened. You know, Parikshit Maharaj, what was his response? He said, very nice thing has happened in my life. Actually, because I'm in this royal family, I'm always in this riches. You know, I was getting carried away by these things. Krishna has come to me in the form of the curse of your son so that I can become detached. Nirveda Moolam. So he said, Nirveda Moolam Dvijashapa Rupam. Krishna's mercy has come to me in the form of this curse. See, this is the greatness of a devotee. If you are a devotee, your greatness will be tested at the time of difficulty. When everything is nice, you can say, yeah, I'm devotee of Krishna. But when difficulties come, what is your response? What kind of response you are going to give? Parikshit Maharaj did not become angry. And Parikshit Maharaj was also powerful. He was a Rajarshi. He could have counter cursed that boy. He didn't do that also. Or he could have built a nice palace where snakes will not come. Snake-proof palace I will build, and so that no snake will come. He could have done that. He didn't do that. He thought this is a great opportunity for me to develop detachment. So what did he do? He handed over the responsibility of his kingdom to his son, and he went away to the forest. And he decided that for the next 7 days, till I'm going to meet death, I will fast on the banks of river Ganga. I will sit. I'll do fasting. No, he didn't think all that material ways to counter is what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He accepted it. But Bhagavatam also mentions that he was capable of countering that curse, but he didn't make any such counters. Okay. Many times we say, no, I'm devotee of Krishna. I'll go and tell Krishna, I'll make this problem. He didn't do all such things. He said, okay, this is Krishna's wish for me. So this is one important lesson for us to learn. Okay. So when difficulties come our way, that is the real test of bhakti. Your faith in Krishna is tested at the time of critical moments, at time of difficulties. So look at the response of Parikshit Maharaj. He said he gladly accepted it. So he went to the banks of river Ganga saying that I will fast till death. Okay. Then there were some saintly persons there on the banks of Ganga. He started inquiring from them. What is the duty of a person who is going to die? Please tell me. Death is right there standing like 7 days away from me. What is my duty at this point of time? What should I do? Now, this is also a very important question. We ask so many questions in life, no? But this is real question we should ask. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days notice period, but we don't know when we are going to meet our death. Is there any guarantee for how many more years we are going to live? There is no guarantee. So we should also be asking this question actually. What is the duty of a person who is on the verge of death? We are all on the verge of death. But when, that we don't. But surely we are going to die. That is for 100% guarantee. Now that recently in Ahmedabad, that plane crash happened, no? Is it in Ahmedabad? Yes. So the people, it crashed into a hostel building. The students, they were all having their lunch. They had never thought that that will be their last meal in their life. From where they will expect that one flight will come like this and it will land on them and that will be their last. We never know when is the last moment in our life, isn't it? So therefore, we should know before I meet my next death how to perfect this life. I have to attain spiritual perfection so that I can become fearless of death. That is possible. If we don't inquire like that, then what is the difference between us and animals? Animals are also doing. Animals will be eating, sleeping. One fine day, somebody will come and hit them and die. The end story over. So we are also like that. So therefore, we should not be like that. So then all the saintly people told, the best thing for you to do is for the next 7 days, you should do Shravanam. You should hear about Krishna. In that way, fix your mind on Krishna. Okay. And they were all wondering, who will that person who for 7 days continuously, who is going to narrate Krishna Katha to me? They were all wondering. At that right moment, the speaker entered. It is said, when the student is ready, the teacher comes in your life. So the student was ready. Many times in our Transdimensions club, teacher is ready, student is not coming only. Ulta. But actually, first students should come and wait. Oh, today we are going to hear Bhagavad Gita. You should be eagerly waiting. Then the teacher should enter. That is the right protocol. Okay. But generally in Kali Yuga, everything is topsy-turvy. Anyway, no problem. I don't mind. So here, Parikshit Maharaj is so eager. He wants to hear. Nothing else he wants to do for the next 7 days. They were thinking, who is that person who is capable of instructing? That time, Shukadev Goswami entered. About Shukadev Goswami, we will discuss next week. But today we are focusing on Parikshit Maharaj. So immediately Shukadev Goswami said, yes, I am ready for 7 days. Are you ready? No lunch break, no tea break, no, nothing, no break. Nothing. You sit simply and here, I will simply keep here telling you about Krishna Katha. So a deal was struck between the two. And Shukadev Goswami continued to narrate Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 cantos of Bhagavatam, 18,000 shlokas in a matter of 7 days. They spoke. And Parikshit Maharaj, sometimes Shukadev Goswami would become little, when he would narrate some pastimes of the Lord, he would become little ecstatic and little bit stop some narration in between. Immediately Parikshit Maharaj would say, please don't stop, please continue. The nectar should flow continuously. Your words are nectar for me. Please don't stop. Please let it come continuously. Like that he used to say. Parikshit Maharaj, And it was not a one way, it was a conversation. In between, Parikshit Maharaj would ask questions, Shukadev Goswami would narrate answers like that. So this went on for 7 days. And by the end of 7 days, Parikshit Maharaj, because of perfect hearing, his mind was fully absorbed in Krishna. By the time the 12th canto ended, Parikshit Maharaj had already left the body and he had gone to Vaikuntha. And then the snake Takshaka came. Takshaka did not kill Parikshit. Because Brahmana's curse was there, Takshaka had to obey and come. And he just, with his venom, he struck the body of Parikshit. But by that time, Parikshit's soul had already gone back to Vaikuntha. Right? And because of the effect of the fire, the body burnt into ashes. Okay. So what is the lesson from this we learn? Parikshit's hearing is first quality, first grade hearing. He was fully absorbed in hearing. He was thirsty. See, many times knowledge is available. We are not thirsty. It's not going to make any difference in our life. Are we thirsty? If we are thirsty, then you will know the value of every drop of water. Otherwise, water is available everywhere. We think like that. What is special about this water? We think. But why? Because we are not thirsty. So thirst is important. So when we are hearing about Krishna, we should hear with attention. We should hear with intention, and we should hear with affection. 3 things are required to hear about Krishna. What is that? First one, attention, with full attention, rapt attention. We should not be worried about what will happen to that, what will happen to this. No, full attention on Krishna. Secondly, intention. My intention of hearing is what? I should become fixed up in bhakti. I should develop my love for Krishna by hearing. That is intention. And thirdly, affection. Who is Krishna? He is my supreme well-wisher. About him I am hearing. Therefore, my heart should be filled with affection. I'm not hearing about some third person whom I'm not at all connected with. But now in Kali Yuga, we are doing opposite. Somebody whom we are not at all connected with, about them we go on hearing hours together. We see reels, scroll the scene, keep scrolling. We keep one after the other, we keep seeing. That person who has made the vlogs, I have nothing to do with that person. Just because he has made some content, I keep seeing. I'm seeing what that person is doing in his life. For that 2 hours, 3 hours I'm spending. He is making money and my time is going away. So useless. But instead of that, instead of seeing somebody's life, if we hear about Krishna, we can actually become benefited. We can develop. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compares this process of Shravanam, hearing, to the watering process. Just like a gardener, he sows the seeds, and if the seed has to sprout and plant has to come out, regularly water has to be put. Correct, no? So this hearing process, we all have received the seed of bhakti. The moment we come in touch with devotee, we have received the seed of bhakti. But watering, if you water every day, Shravanam, then only that bhakti lata, bija will sprout and it will produce plant, it will produce fruit. Fruit is what? Love of Krishna. So if we want that pure love of Krishna every day, we must spend some time doing Shravanam, hearing about Krishna. This is a very important process. While chanting Hare Krishna, we should hear the Hare Krishna mantra. Apart from that, we should also hear about Krishna. If you read Srila Prabhupada books, it is same as Shravanam, hearing. Because Prabhupada has spoken and it is printed. So when you hear from a pure devotee, what happens? Our love for Krishna is increasing. So therefore, Shravanam is the basis for all other processes of bhakti. About Rukmini Devi also it is told. Rukmini Devi heard about Krishna. She had never seen Krishna. She had heard about Krishna from the visiting devotees in her palace from childhood. Just because she was hearing so much about Krishna, she had developed so much attraction for Krishna. And when she came to marriageable age, she decided firmly that I am going to marry only Krishna, nobody else. So this firm attraction to Krishna comes by doing Shravanam. It is said, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day we should hear Bhagavatam. What happens by that? All our negativities in our heart will be destroyed and pure bhakti for Krishna will be established in our heart. Two effects of hearing. What is the first one? Anarthas will be destroyed, the negativities will be destroyed, and firm conviction in the service of Krishna will be established in our heart. These are the two important effects. That's why we should do Nityam. Nityam means every day. Bhagavata Seva. So will you all do every day Bhagavata Seva? Hearing also. Hearing Bhagavatam. Can you all do at least 10 minutes hearing? I will send you the video, what you should hear. You should just hear. Click on that and hear. Can you do? Is it difficult? Possible, right? Okay. So, Shravanam. So, this is the action item. Every day, at least 10 minutes, we should hear. So, I will share in the group. Please hear. Okay. So, now, chanting one round, we will do down. Because time, down we'll go and do. We will do Damodara Ashtakam, Damodara Arati. Any questions? Hearing is also seva. By hearing, in fact, it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Lord Brahma says, Krishna is called Ajita. Ajita means unconquerable. But simply by hearing about Krishna, he can become conquered. Krishna becomes conquered by a devotee simply by hearing. Because that the meaning of that is by hearing nicely, we develop love for Krishna, bhakti for Krishna, and Krishna becomes conquered only by bhakti. That is what we also see in the Damodar Leela, right? So hearing alone is a seva. By hearing, you are receiving Krishna. You are paying your attention. No, attention is the most valuable thing, no, in this world. Time and attention. You are giving time and attention to Krishna by doing Shravanam. Therefore, it is a seva. Good question. So hearing is also seva because you are giving your valuable time, you are giving your attention. These are the two most difficult things to give, if you notice. Sometimes you may give time, but you may not give attention. So therefore, hearing is also seva. Good. So we'll discuss more. If you have any questions, we'll go down and discuss. So now we will be singing the Damodara Ashtaka.